Welcome to this Fixit channel, and this is a quick video in understanding the usage of RAM in your computer, especially in Windows 10. There's a new way of actually having Windows 10 use RAM memory. And the reason why is because they've actually rethought of how Windows needs to use RAM. The reason RAM exists is very simple. It's the fastest thing in your computer. When your computer accesses RAM, it does it in a very high speed compared to any other types of technology to store information. So in Windows 10, it started out in Windows 8. They've reworked how RAM is used, but in Windows 10 they even went further on using RAM. Now, how do you know how much memory you got and how much you are using at any time? Simply, you have to start the Task Manager. You can right-click at the taskbar at the bottom, click Task Manager. You can also use Cortana to search for Task Manager. It will come out as a desktop app. Here, you might have actually a view that looks like this. If you do, click More Details at the bottom and make sure that you click on Performance on the upper tabs there. So that's going to give you memory. You click on memory on the left side to make sure that you're in the memory usage. And now you have the first number here, that's the most important right here. In use, 2.5 gigabytes. Available, 5.3 gigabytes. So that's for a total of approximately 8 gigabytes of RAM that I have. So I'm not using that much. And you can see the usage. So you can start apps and programs. So say I'm going to start Chrome, Word, the Store, Edge. Let's start Firefox. And so here we have lots of programs that are running. Let's go back and check out memory. Even with all that open, I'm using 3.2 gigabytes out of out of 8. So I still have a lot of RAM left. Now, you might have different configurations. Your computer might have 4 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of RAM. Maybe you have less than 4. If you have less than 4, I would strongly recommend that you move at least to 4, which is pretty much, for me, I think the minimum today. Now, a lot of you are using memory management software. That's programs that are there to manage RAM and say, oh, okay, well, you're using a lot of RAM. I'm going to remove this information and give you more RAM. And they think it's a good thing. Well, it's not. You should not be using any of these software. These are actually bad software. They don't help you at all. And the problem with RAM is not of getting more of it with a program or a software. It's to add more simply if you don't have enough. Now, in Windows 10, there's a new way of optimizing everything that actually compresses a lot of the different processes and programs into RAM memory to, first of all, to have them take less space in RAM, but you want them to stay in RAM because that's the fastest way that your computer is going to work, and that's why Windows 10 is actually faster. It uses more RAM than any other operating system because it is the way to do things faster. So you don't want to lower the amount of RAM used by Windows 10. It is a bad idea. You're just going to slow down your computer. So when is RAM not enough RAM? Well, basically, look at in use and available. You also have a graphic here. There's a line. You see that little line? Shows you how much I've got used, this part, compared to everything left, that part. Just think of RAM, basically, of knowing if you got enough or not. Think about it as, am I always around 80 or 90% of RAM used? If you answer that question, so for example, I've got 8 gigabytes. Say I'm always at 7.5 gigabytes. Well, I'm going to start thinking, well, maybe I need to upgrade my computer's memory and add more. So basically, if you were at 3.1, for example, here in use, and you had available 4 in total, so here on the upper right corner, it says 4 gigabytes. That means you would be using so much RAM that it's maybe a good idea to upgrade to 8 gigabytes. And typically the way you do that is you remove the RAM modules in your computer and exchange them with bigger gigabyte RAM modules, so you have more storage in RAM memory. Now, if you're not using, if you're like me, I'm using only what, a third, a little more than, maybe 40% of my RAM right now. Well, that's not a problem. I still have a lot left, and there's no problem there. If the available RAM here, when you're using a computer, typically runs below 1 gigabyte, that means you probably need to upgrade your RAM. Don't use a software that removes stuff from RAM. It's completely useless. You're slowing down your computer, and basically it's not at all helping. So the amount of RAM used is quite all right, as much as you want, but if you get close to about 80 and 90%, think of upgrading your computer from 8 to 16 gigabytes, for example, or 4 to 8. Now, one thing that you need to know is that for most people, 8 gigabytes is kind of a standard right now in a lot of computers. It's way enough. And there's, if you're using only 40-50% like I do, going from 8 to 16 will have absolutely no advantage at all, because most programs don't use that much RAM. So that's the straight dope. Don't use any pieces of software that say, oh, computer's gonna go faster because we're gonna actually remove from RAM all the crap stuff. Well, there's no crap stuff. If it's in RAM, it's there because it makes your computer faster. And the only thing that will make your computer faster if you're getting close to the edge of using RAM is adding more RAM. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to my channel. You'll be informed when new videos are online. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. And hopefully you enjoy our videos, and welcome back to our channel. Thank you for watching.